Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So as you can tell by the title, today I will be showing you guys my larger eyeshadow palette collection for 2020. I decided that I was going to separate them by brands to make it a little bit easier, and I will be putting the prices somewhere in some corner on the video so you guys can know the prices or get any ideas if you like any of them. Alright, and let's jump into this video. So the first eyeshadow brand I'm going to be looking at is my Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now I only have one. Her palettes are a little bit pricier, so sometimes I like them, sometimes just depends. Okay, so the first one I have here is called Soft Glam. Now this is a very beautiful eyeshadow palette. It's very neutral. You will see in this video a lot of my eyeshadow palettes are very neutral. I tend to reach for a more neutral eye. I like colorful stuff for different occasions or different things like that. But yeah, this palette is very beautiful. Every day can be glam, simple with all the mattes. Okay, the next brand we'll be looking at is the Urban Decay. I have two palettes by them. I have the Naked 3 palette, which is getting old. I've actually used this maybe just a few times. Simple, very neutral, like I had said, very beautiful. And then I have a little Naked 2 Basics palette. I actually like to bring this one when I travel, or it's just easy for everyday look. They're all mattes, which is very nice too sometimes to have. Okay, so the next brand is just Smashbox. I only have one by Smashbox. This one is a lot of shimmers. Very nice. I love this eyeshadow palette. I still have yet to use it, but I will be using it very soon. I'm gonna swatch one of these because they're just they're so creamy. That's one of the shades there. Metallic. Oh, so nice. It's like, it feels like butter. It's so nice. Okay, the next eyeshadow brand, I also just have one. The ones where I have just like one or two palettes, I'm going to be doing those first ones. I have a couple more of them. I'll be doing those ones last. So this one is the Huda Beauty palette, the new Nude. When this palette first came out, I knew I had to have it. Like I said, I love nudes. So I knew that I had to purchase it. I still have yet to use this, but hopefully I will be using it soon. There's like mattes, I love it. There's shimmers, pressed glitters, which are like so nice. There's like a concealer kind of shade here to like outline and stuff, or do a cut crease, which is really nice. This palette is beautiful. Her palettes are a little bit more pricey, so that's why it kind of took so long for me to buy them. I have one palette by the Sephora brand. This one is called Easy on the Eyes. I think this one was like really cheap, and I thought it'd be good to have like a bunch of neutrals again, but I love like the darker colors too. Like they're perfect if you're trying to do like Halloween, or I wore a couple of these green shades for St. Patrick's Day last year. It's a nice easy palette to have. I'm not sure, I think this palette is discontinued now. Okay, and now I have a brand called Smokes and Mirrors. It's actually from the Dollar General in the States. I thought it'd be cool to see if you know, a dollar store palette could live up to, I guess, more of a hyped, more expensive palette. So this one actually reminds me of the new Nude one by Huda Beauty. This one was $5 and it is beautiful. I have yet to use it, but I've swatched a lot of these shades and like they're amazing. I will actually pull up the Huda Beauty one just so you can see how similar. I mean, the colors aren't the same, but it's pretty much the same concept, same idea. So I will probably be doing a video maybe to test each one on my eyes to see which one works to be the best. Okay, so the next brand I have is Too Faced. Now I have about 5 palettes from there. So I got these 3 in a set for Christmas from somebody last year or the year before. So it came in like a 3 set. So they're all different. They've got eyeshadows, and they actually do have blushes in them as well, but I thought I would add them since they're mostly eyeshadow palettes. Okay, so this one is called I Believe in Pink. So very neutral. So kind of a bright, but you could use that as an eyeshadow if you wanted to. Some really nice colors in there. And then the next one is called Natural Beauty. This is my favorite one. I've used this one only a couple times, but this could use as a highlighter too. I would use that more as a highlighter. Very neutral. These ones are perfect to bring traveling. And then this one's called Super Fun Night. They're all very beautiful palettes. So this one you can use as a highlighter as well. Dark shades. This would be for like a fun night out is what it's very nice. And then I have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. Now, this one, they smell like, this one smells like chocolate. I've used this one. This is probably one of my favorite palettes. If I'm trying to do an easy, simple look, I always reach for this palette. Very nice. I usually mostly just use all of these neutral shades. I haven't used any of like the purple or the turquoise or the pink just yet. And then the next one I have is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I've also loved this palette too. This one smells like fresh peaches. This one's very beautiful. You can see I've even used this green shade in here, but this one's also beautiful. These palettes are just a little bit more pricey, but sometimes you can find them at like a Winners or Marshalls, which is really cool. Next one I have is just a little Tarte palette. I actually got this in a FabFitFun box, which is I think it's perfect to get in that box because it's perfect for everybody. Not too crazy. Neutrals, which are my favorite. I don't really reach for this one though. Brand, which is a really, really affordable brand. I wish I actually had a couple more, which I probably will maybe do a haul soon of Colourpop. Okay, so the first palette I have from Colourpop. Very beautiful. Just a small one. These are so affordable. I've used this one a couple times. Again, very neutral, but that's what I love. So nice. They're so cheap, and I find that the payoff works really well. The quality is there. I'll swatch a couple of these ones for you. Okay, so there's some swatches of that palette. It's very beautiful. I love all the neutral colors in this palette. Okay, and the next one is called The Golden State of Mind. I actually got this from Sephora. At one point, Sephora was selling a little bit of Colourpop. I don't know why they stopped, but they don't sell it anymore, so I had gotten this one there. This is one of Colourpop's holiday collections from maybe a couple years ago now, but they're all just shimmers, which is really nice. I love this palette. I will swatch a couple of them on my finger here. They're very holographic, if you can see that. It's very got purple shift, even though in the pan it looks white, but it does have purple shift in it. These ones are super nice. Their eyeshadow palettes perform really well. They're very creamy, very soft, very high quality. I do have lots of single eyeshadows, but maybe I'll put that in another video. Their single pan eyeshadows are also amazing. So the next brand I have is a MAC. Now I have a few from MAC. I used to really, really love MAC, but I've kind of just outgrown it over the year. But I will show you what I have. So the first one I have is the Power Hungry palette. I love these. These ones are really popular when they first came out. You could travel with them. They're very thin, which is nice. Actually bought this one when it was first came out, and then I had gotten this one at Marshalls for like $14.99, which is crazy. So I'll show you this one. So I've used this one a couple times. It's a very nice palette, nice colors in here. Neutral again, it's my favorite though. This one is a nice highlight too, which is nice. It comes with that. And I will show you the next one. This one's called Prissy Princess. This is the one I got for super, super cheap. Also neutrals, love the pink shades. This one's very nice as highlighter. It's nice that you can have a bunch of stuff in the palette as well. Then I just have some 2 little 9 pan ones. The first one I have is Burgundy ×9. I use this one a lot, but then I realized that you could buy them in single shadows and a little bit bigger, so I actually went to that, but I did use this one a lot. So I love this palette mostly just for like going out or just a night on the town. It's a nice time, nice for Christmas too, or fall. I love these burgundy shades. The next one I have is called Semi Sweet. Actually, I don't know what drew me to this one because I would never use like a red or these dark colors, but obviously you can see I've loved these 3 shades, so I've actually put those in a palette. But I use this palette obviously a lot. This palette was very, very well loved. So at MAC you can make your own eyeshadow palettes. It is a little bit pricier, but definitely worth it, because sometimes when you buy palettes, you're like, okay, I'm going to use 9 of these colors, but I'm probably not going to use the rest. Or you're buying it because you love 4 shades, which I don't know, I always do that. But I actually made this palette at MAC, so each shade I chose to put in this palette. This is probably my most loved palette. Every time I want to go somewhere or do something, this is the palette I reach for. I bring with me everywhere. These shades are all so beautiful. I love this palette, and I will use every shade. And because I love this one so much and I just love neutral shades, I decided to make another one. So this one's also very neutral. So I tend to bring these two wherever I go if I'm trying to do makeup, because they're just so easy. I'll show you them side by side. They are beautiful. Both very neutral, but so nice. Okay, the next brand I have, which I talked about in my last video, is Morphe. Like I had said before, Morphe is very affordable. Their eyeshadows perform wonderfully. Their brushes are amazing. Their lipsticks are amazing. I just love their brand. If you ever get a chance, I definitely go check that store out. So the next palette I have is the Jacklyn Hill palette. But I like this palette because I just like that it had every color. I have used this palette actually quite often. I love that there's neutrals, and then they got burgundy for like fall, and then you have some colors. I've actually used this blue quite often, and these two greens, but there's dark colors. Like, I just feel like you can get every eyeshadow look out of this palette, which is really nice, and it is very, very affordable. Like I said, I will be linking all the prices in the corners. The next palette I have is the Natural Glow 350. So I wanted this palette because I thought I could get a lot of looks out of it, and it's so compact. It's nice to bring everywhere. You got, again, every shade. These palettes are seriously so affordable. Perfect if you are a makeup artist or you want to put it in your kit. Like, these are perfect. I actually used some of these on my wedding day for my own eyeshadow look. I told the girl I wanted to use my own eyeshadow palette, so I used some of this one, and I also used my MAC one that I talked about earlier on my wedding day as well. Okay, and then the next palette I have is from the summer collection of last year. This is the 35G Bronze Goals palette. I have used this palette also for a couple weddings I've been to. I used it for. These are perfect for fall, very fall vibes. I love these metallic shades. They're beautiful. I will swatch a couple of them so you guys can see how they perform. Okay, so these are a couple of the shimmer shades in the palette. They're very nice. I actually love to use this orange shade in my inner corner. If I'm wearing a look that I'm wearing today, I will just pop it in my inner corner sometimes just to have a nice pop, or makes it, I don't know, I just love doing that. So the one thing about Morphe, they usually don't put mirrors in their palettes because mirrors cost more money, and for this it's cheaper for them to give it to us as a consumer, cheaper by not adding a mirror. One thing I wish that they did do to these palettes is put the names of the eyeshadows on the actual packaging. They do give you sometimes slips that have like the names on them, but I just love that when you can open it and read all the names, which is like really cool. Okay, so I have 3 eyeshadow palettes left, which are all from my favorite brand ever, which is Jeffree Star. I love his products. His brand is my favorite. His liquid lipsticks are the best. His skin frosts are amazing. Today I'm wearing on my lips one of his liquid lipsticks by Mannequin. They are not drying. They feel so nice. Feels like there's nothing on my lips, which is super good. The first palette I have, which you probably saw from my Jeffree Star unboxing, is the Thirsty palette. I love this palette. I love because it's very neutral. These pressed glitters are amazing. I've already used this silver one a bunch of times in my inner corner. I love these bright colors here in the bottom. So sad, he actually just announced that he's going to be discontinuing this palette and the Alien palette, which is really sad. I feel very lucky to have this palette. And my next favorite palette, which is probably my third favorite palette of all my eyeshadow palettes, is the Blood Sugar. Now this palette is so nice. It has a little bit of weight to it. It is like hard. It's got these nice clasps on it, which are super nice, and it has a decent sized mirror in it, which is nice. And then here's the palette. Love these colors. I love that he puts like pressed what do you call those, shapes or different designs in each one, which is really nice. I love these matte colors here. I would totally use all these shimmer colors too. I'm so excited. I haven't used this yet since I bought it, so I will be using it. And then my last eyeshadow palette, which is the Conspiracy palette. So happy that I got this palette. It was very, very hard work. waiting in line. So this one's also the same as the Blood Sugar, kind of the same concept, just has a little bump. It's got this really cute little hard metal. It's got a Jeffree Star and the Shane Dawson. This one's also pretty hard. It's got the clasp, and you open it up, and the mirror's same way, and it's got Jeffree's logo and Shane's on the side. Now I've actually used this already. I didn't want to, but I needed to because it costs a lot of money. Very nice. I know a lot of people, when they look at this eyeshadow palette, they get nervous. I've heard that from people, but I look at it like, if you look at the top row, these are all neutral shades, easy eye look. And if you look at the bottom row, you have a more like fall, Christmas, you can use that, you know, and then the middle row is a pop of color. You could do fun looks with that, but sometimes the middle row scares people, but that's okay. And that's my last eyeshadow palette. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.